This is Longhop. This is a family heirloom and also a little bit of our family history. This copy belonged to my grandfather, Arthur Hopkins, and he was part of the company that made this game. At the time, they were called Thomas Delarue and Co. And they were based in London. Legend has it that as a little treat for the other workers, my grandfather used to take this in for a game on payday. The only problem was some people played so much that they would go home empty-handed, as in those days you got paid in cash, and they would spend their whole wage packet on this. So he had to stop. He was probably making a fair bit of money, but he still had to stop. My grandfather wasn't short of money because he was an engraver for the company, and during the war, apparently, he was a forger. This was his part of the war effort, making documents for soldiers going behind enemy lines. Was that true? Who knows? This is what I was told. Anyway, this is Longhop, the great game of chance. This copy is at least 67 years old, as the company of Thomas Delarue and Co. changed to the Delarue Society in 1958. So that means this copy has to be at least 67 years old. As inside here, when we look on the pamphlet, the instructions, it says published by Thomas Delarue and Co. Limited, 110 Bunhill Row, London, EC1. Anyway, this is the deluxe version. Now, I don't know quite what makes it deluxe. Maybe it's the little metal figures. Now, as you can see by some of them, they're a little bit well loved. This little guy, the little horse, sorry, he's a greyhound, but we refer to them as little horses. He's lost his front paws, and his back ones and his tail aren't looking particularly healthy. But some of them are pretty well intact. This one has all his paws and it has his tail and he's got his jacket, but still quite well loved because they came, we think, painted and then with little jackets painted so you could tell which one was which. The rest of the pack was pretty simple standard things. You have a base as your playing board. You have a normal set of playing cards. I suspect these are the originals. However, the Joker certainly wasn't part of the pack because it's a different design on the back to the rest of them. But having gone through this, checked that they're all there, this is a very old set of cards. And if they're not original and therefore almost 70 years old, they're not far off. Finally, apart from the little metal figures, the bays and the cards, we have the counters. These are used for betting. In the case of us, when we were playing this as a party game, we used to pay with 2p and 1p pieces. And so in this case, on this demonstration, I'm going to treat that as a 2p piece and that as a 1p piece. I'm amazed that these are even vaguely touched because we certainly never used the counters. We always used 2p and 1p pieces. And clearly, Grandpa, when he was playing with his colleagues at work, they were obviously playing for money as well. But that would be morally wrong and bankrupt to be playing for money, wouldn't it? Anyway, on to the game. What I consider is basically a tea towel, is our playing area. Now, you can't quite see this, but the winning post is here, and the starting area is here, the traps. And in between, we have the different obstacles. So we have the fall spaces. This one is for the jack, and then you have the recovery card of the ace, king, and queen. Next is the queen, recovery card to the ace, king, and jack. Full card king, ace, queen, and jack. And full card ace, the recovery is the king, queen, and jack. Hopefully, one of the rounds we will actually see that happen, and therefore I can explain it currently. In between also we have the other obstacles, which are just literally the bulk or the bump ones where they just don't move. There is no recovery. They'll move hopefully on the next one. In this case, on a 2, a 3 or a 4, if you're in these spaces, you won't move forward. But that changes to a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're really unlucky, you don't move forward for 3, but there are no recoveries. You just go ahead. Finally, displaying this board, you've got the odds and where you place your bets down. And that leads us on to the rest of it. The instructions to this game are literally on a pamphlet the size of my hand, and there are 4 pages that lay out the instructions with examples. And in fact, actually, it's only 3.5 pages because the rest is a little bow design, and that's it, really. I mean, and most of that is talking about what to do on the case of the falls. And there's 2 examples. So this is an incredibly simple party game. Because where a lot of games are made for 1, 2, 5 players, this supports however many people are in the room. And at our parties, my parents used to have parties which have 100 people come to play. Well, come to the visit for the party. And maybe 20 or 30 of them would end up playing this game. And they would be making a hellish noise when it came out. People screaming, come on hearts, come on spades, because that's where they place their bets. Anyway, let's go on to the game. First things first is somebody who is not the banker shuffles the cards. They do this quickly and pass over to the banker. The banker then takes 8 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is to calculate the odds. Taking each card, he lays it up on the appropriate line. So the Queen of Hearts goes on the Hearts line, the 7 of Diamonds goes on the Diamonds line, the 9 of Clubs goes on the Club line, Queen of Clubs, Club line, 10 of Spades onto the Spade line, 7 on the Diamond, 7 of Hearts on the Hearts line, Clubs again, and finishing up with Diamonds. What we end up with is Spades are now 2-1, Hearts are now 5-1, Clubs 5-1, and Diamonds 2-1. And people now can place their bets. I am going to use the tokens because, well, quite frankly, I haven't got any 1 2 pences around. I'm in the wrong country. So, they lay down the bets. Now, the first person decides they're going to lay down 5 on a 2-1. The second person's going to lay down on Clubs. They're going to lay down 4 on the Clubs. Another person, a bit more risky, turns down and puts, a 2 on the 5-1. It wasn't a 5, it was 2. And then finally, somebody else puts down a 2 on 2-1. Meanwhile, fifth person lays down 3 there. Somebody else lays down 3 there. And finally, another 2 there. All the bets are in and the race begins. The little dogs are placed in the traps and ready to take off. Play is really simple. You draw a card and that line moves forward, provided it does not either hit on a fall or a bump in space. So, ace of diamonds moves forward. Eight of hearts, six of hearts, three of spades, five of diamonds, three of hearts. Three of hearts does not move forward because there's 2, 3, or 4. It does not move. It misses a turn. Six of spades, nine of spades, eight of spades, 10 of hearts. Poor old clubs hasn't even started yet. 9 of hearts. 2, yet again. The 2 of spades has already passed by. That's the diamonds. Maybe should have changed the black for there. And passes through. 3 of diamonds. This time he can't go. It's a 2, 3, or a 4. And he can't go. Ace of clubs. He's off at last. 10 of clubs, he's going on. He's caught up to diamond. The queen of spades, he's already racing through. The 5 of spades, he only needs one more card to get through. And diamonds, he's off. And the king, he's off. And the 7 of spades. 7 of spades passes on to the winning post, into the line, and he has won. The game is over. Really and truly an incredibly fast game to play. We now collect all the losing bits of the banker and have to pay out the winner. Now the winner, he's got 2 to 1 for 2, so he gets 2 more there. And he gets to keep his original stake. So he ends up with 6. However, the banker, in saying that, ends up with 5, 7, 10, 12. Nice little bit of profit straight away into the bank. The next game is set up. As you can imagine, we're 20 people who've all laid bets and all have got money riding on this. The noise is impressive. People shouting out, "Come on hearts," or "Come on diamonds," groaning when one falls at the jacks or anything else. It's got to be seen to be played. But I'm going to play one through more and let's see if we actually get anywhere. This time I am going to put the black on the black one, and then we'll have the 2 there and the white there. But yet again, now we're going to lay out our 8 cards. 1, 2. Now we're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need another card. Well, a big spender is going to go for 5 there. Somebody else is going to go for 3 there. 2 people have gone for 2 each on that. And somebody else has decided to really go for it on 2 and 3. And finally, because there's a bit of confidence, they're shoving down another 4 on that one. The chances are, with the way this works, that the Queen of Hearts will win. The reason simply is there are more cards in the deck. However, there are the Queen and the Jack, so this person can't fall either of those two lines. This person's also got the Queen, so the Queen, the only person in danger for the Queen is the spades. So let's go for it. And clubs are off. The King is out. 2 for the diamonds. Ace of hearts. 10 of diamonds. Jack of clubs. And here we are. The Jack of clubs meant this horse has fallen and now is facing the other direction. Simply put, they are done that way because these fall over really easily. And so we don't want that one to be confused. So we turn them the other direction just so they're obvious. He can only come up now with either a king or an ace. And the Queen is already out. So that's no good. And remember, the very first card was a king. So he has now got to wait for the ace. 4 of clubs. He can't move. He's stuck. 8 of clubs. He can't move. He's stuck. The Jack also falls, turns the other direction, and they are now stuck. He has got the king and ace yet again, can come out. The 5 of clubs, none of them are moving. These are all staying in place. But the spades are moving forward, and he's got the Jack, so he's now safe. The 6 of clubs, no good. The king of spades, he's over. The 2 of hearts, can't move, he's fallen over. The 4 is moving on over. 7, he's still fallen over. 3, he's fallen over. 6 of spades, moving forward. 9 of spades, moving forward. 8 of spades, moving forward. 10 of hearts, still no good. Needs actually to have the king come out, and he is no good. 9 of hearts. 2 of spades. The spades are just romping forward. Having had a rubbish start, they're now absolutely demolishing. And the 3 of diamonds has come out. But also the 2, 3, and 4 are blocking. So he misses a turn. But at last, the ace of clubs comes out and he is now off. He's back in the races. 10 of clubs. Queen of spades, which luckily would have caused him a problem back here, allows him to carry on. And the 5 of spades, despite the fact that everybody else had so many cards come up, spades is the winner. Once again, the banker collects all his money, sends the horses back home. Greyhounds. We just think of them as little horses. And finally, has to pay out. So he had a 3 at 3 to 1. He keeps his stake. And he gets 9, 3 times 3, back. And ends up with a grand total of 12. But yet again, the banker does well. He's made a nice little earning of 10. So in that first thing, he has made around about 22 cents. Not bad for 5 minutes. So that's a Longhop. I am making my own copy. As much as I love this copy, and it is a family heirloom, and I intend it to be passed down to my daughter. Which one gets it, I don't know. It's who loves it the most. A little bit like in our family. Because both my sisters and I, we share the same grandfather, but I wanted this. I absolutely adore it. And they very kindly let me have it. But I want everybody else to be able to play it without the risk of damaging this one. So, putting it away carefully and looking at the components, which are very easy. They require some counters, a pack of playing cards, very easy to get hold of. The counters are somewhat optional due to the fact that you could write your bet on a piece of paper. Or more to the point, use the lowest denomination of money that you've got in your country. The instructions are incredibly simple, and in fact take up less than an A4 piece of paper. So yet again, not exactly difficult. And finally, we have the two more complicated. What I feel is a screen printed tea towel. A little bit of complication, not very difficult. Probably the most difficult part in the whole thing. The bit that I've already done, because as we've seen, these guys are very fragile. Bear in mind, they are probably over 70 years old. And he probably hasn't had his legs for most of that time. Using a bit of AI, in this case I used Meshy, and a picture of an actual greyhound running, I have created some new greyhounds. These I printed on my 3D printer, and I have now got 4 little greyhounds that are very, very good. In fact, arguably slightly better than the other ones. What I'm going to do is probably, rather than paint them, just print them in 4 different colours. That way, they can be used easily. Of course, I could stick a little heart, a little club on each one, a little spade, but that is a difficulty that maybe I don't need to go to. Nor did the original designer. I could put just little jackets on them, but they look remarkably good like this. You probably can't see, but you end up with something that's almost got like a hair to it. Anyway, that's Longhop, a family heirloom that's passed down there 3 generations and has a nice little bit of history behind it. I look forward to more parties because this has exactly what you want in a party game. A lot of high energy and very easy to understand rules. It can be taught in a few minutes, and any confusion about what the rules are will be get over a few minutes later when you start playing. Great fun. If you can find a copy, pick it up straight away. If not, hold on. I might actually be able to get some more printed. Watch this space.